Hello everyone, this is Divya from Trend Preschool. Today we are learning about certain math worksheets which we could actually do it at home without much of difficulty. So what you're seeing over here is like the first worksheet that we are doing is on matching, which is very much applicable for 3 to 4 years of age. There are certain simple drawings which has been written on the worksheet on either side. So what we need to do is like identify the object and then match it with the corresponding object on the other side. Now the first object is trees, so the child is supposed to identify that. Then smiley, identify where the box is, then find out for the shape heart and try to match it. Arrow and then the flower. So this was our first worksheet for 3 to 4 years of age. Next, what we will be learning is all about the objects and their shadow shapes. What we could do is like draw some easy objects on one side. On the other side, you could draw the dotted images of the same object. Now you need to identify where the matching object shadow is all about. So find out and then try to trace it. Next, a square, find out the shape and try to match it. House, find out where it is. So we could also trace the dotted lines and then we could also match it. The next is circle. We identify, we first match it and then we can trace it. It necessarily need not be the cross lines. The matching can also be on the straight lines also. This was one of the exercise that we could use it or do it at our home. The next worksheet, what we are learning is all about finding out for the biggest object. Now you could see that there are multiple objects which is listed. Now you need to find out which is the biggest amongst all of them. So tell the names of it, that this is fish, ice cream and then the shape. And now in each row there could be the same picture but they are in different shapes. So what we need to find out is which is biggest. So we could either mark a tick or we could circle it or even we can ask the child to color the biggest object. So repeat the same for all the other rows also. The next day we will be introducing a new concept from the same worksheet and we ask the child which is the smallest or identify where the smallest is. So to mark a difference, the child or the parent can also draw or write another worksheet. You could circle the smallest or cross the smallest or even ask the child to color the smallest object. So we will repeat the same for the other objects also. The next worksheet, what we will be saying is all about some patterns. Now you can see that there are certain circles which has been printed in one boxes and I have made the other box which is completely empty. If you see, each of the boxes colored with some circles with different colors. Now I need to identify the same color and mark it. If you see, that circle was pink, so the child will have to identify and mark or color pink. Next was green, so we pick green and we color it. So you could use the color pencil or crayon or sketch pen, whatever colors that is available at your home. So not only circles, any shapes, any patterns can actually be marked. So this was for the color coordination skill. Once we are done with this, let's move to the next worksheet. This is all about numbers and the objects. So we have to write down the numbers on one side and write any number of objects on the other side. Again, the shapes is something which the child can recognize or identify. Now since the number 4 was given, we need to count and then color only that amount of number. So there are 6 actually, but I colored only 4. The next number is 2, so we need to color how many? We need to color only 2 circles. Next was 5, so we need to color 5 squares. 3, 4 and 5. Children can use same colors or they can use different colors also. So let's do the same thing for the others also. Once we are done with this, let's move on to the next worksheet, which is again on matching the numbers and to its objects. Now the first one was 5, so we have to search where the number 5 is all about. start counting the object and then check where the number 5 is and then match it. The next number 3, 4, we count and match 4. Then boxes, 3 boxes, so we go there. Then we have lollipops, 4, 5, 6 lollipops, we match it. And then there are some pancakes, so we can ask the children to also color it so that it becomes much more fun for all of them. The next is again cupcakes. So they can pick up their own colors. Every cupcake can be of a different color or it can be of the same color, so it's all about how you want the activity to be all about. So what we basically do is only coloring and counting and matching to the corresponding number. So you can bring different activities to the same exercise. Next worksheet, what we will be looking is all about shapes and to match it with the color what is expected to be done with. Now what we do over here is like we have given very simple shapes like square, triangle, heart and star. So the first one was all about to identify the shape square and I had to color it with color red. The next one is triangle and we need to color it with pink. So the child will have to identify where triangle is and to color with the same color. The next one is all about heart and to color it with blue. So identify where heart is and color it blue. Isn't it cool? Yeah. The next is yellow. Color it with yellow color at your practice time. The next exercise is all about, finding out how many sides does each of these shapes have. So that's circle. Does circle have any side? So ask the child. If the child says no, then color it 0. Then is line. So line has one side. So we have to color 1. Then triangle has 3 sides. So we have to find out and color 3. Pentagon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pentagon has how many sides? It has 5 sides. So we color 5. Square or rectangle has how many sides? It has 4 sides. So we color 4. Next is hexagon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hexagon has 6 sides. Each time ask them a question and ask them how many sides it is. So this way the child is learning about the sides as well as on the shapes. The last exercise of the day is all about tracing. This is very important for our handwriting skills. If you want your handwriting to be beautiful, we need to master our hand grip and the pencil grip. Now you could trace down or give dotted lines for children to trace any pattern. At the beginning, show them how to go slowly, not to miss out the tracing pattern. But we need to always make sure that we will not be lifting up our hand. It has to be continuous. When the child is tracing, they can go wrong. But that's absolutely okay because we do not want them to lift their hand up. The more they practice, what happens? The speed at which they trace the dotted line will also start to grow or becomes faster. Okay. So keep practicing different patterns. Now they can be little slow, they can be faster, but do not interrupt when they're actually tracing the continuous patterns. Once they're fine with this, you can add on to different patterns. Now you see I have added on to a curved line pattern. The child will have to trace it without the breakage of the pattern. So this was all for it for today. So we'll come back with more videos. Thank you. Like this worksheet, please share your feedback and don't forget to subscribe so that you do not miss out any updates. Thank you.